Hello and welcome to my crafting video. There's me waving, hello, hello. That's my camera. It's balanced on some books right now because I don't have a tripod and that's the best I can do. So I'm going to start by opening this frame that I bought. So there's the back and it's got this border on the inside and I really wanted to utilize that to my advantage. So I put that aside, put everything, and let's get started. There's my poster board. It's pretty thick, it's a little thicker than I wanted, but I just decided to roll with it. These are all my tools. So I got the ruler. The ruler says Christopher. That is not my name. My name is Aaron. It's in the title, but whatever. I've got a ruler called Christopher. So I'm taping down the border because I want to give myself a frame of reference of what it'll look like in the frame. Okay, here are my postcards. So these are some postcards of Ukiyo-e. Now, Ukiyo-e was a style of Japanese art that flourished between the 17th and 19th century. They're upside down, idiot. You might want to turn that. There you go. It flourished between the 17th and 19th centuries, and these are just a bunch of paintings. I bought a set of postcards when I was in Japan. Now, this one I'm holding right here is not an ukiyo-e. It's a picture or postcard of Kumamoto Castle. That's where I used to live in Japan, and I really wanted that to be the centerpiece because it would give me, like, I don't know, a sense of home of where I lived when I was there. Now, what I'm doing now is I'm measuring all the different sides. I want to get a sense of where the middle is at. It's taken me so long, and this is at 10 times speed, because my brain just couldn't deal with the measurements. I kept switching between imperial and metric, and I kept writing like 1.5 inch, and you can't write 1.5 inch because a ruler works in fractions, so you have to write like 1/2 or like 8/16. Anyways, there it is. A nice little cross in the middle. Let's keep going. So that's going to be the center, and now I'm organizing everything into landscape and portrait just to get a sense of like how they're supposed to lay. And now I'm really just trusting my artist's intuition of how this is all going to work. So I'm just going to slide them around and see like how the colors match up and just kind of put them in there. I like tucking them underneath the border there to keep them in place and also like kind of give it a sense of that it's continuing. Like there could be more postcards, you just don't see them because they're blocked by the frame, that kind of idea. Look at that guy's ugly mug. It's like, meh. That was my least favorite one, and I put him more central just so that I could cover him up with the Kumamoto Castle. It's a beautiful painting, but like, meh. Anyways, Kumamoto Castle will go there. And about now, I realized that I need to glue everything down. So I'm going to use my handy dandy smartphone and take a picture, cha-ching. And now I can use that as a guide for when I start gluing everything. So now it's time to clean up, take everything off. I've already taken a picture, so I know where it's supposed to go. I also realize now that I don't need to tape the border down, that I could just trace around it with pencil. And then I wouldn't have to work with that, and it'd be a lot easier to glue and not have to tuck them under the border. So yeah, there's my head. You can see my AirPod. I got my music playing while I'm crafting. Okay, it's time to start gluing. So I take my thing and I try and organize where it's supposed to be based on the picture I've got on my phone to the left. And I've glued it off camera, but I'll show you how that works later. So close, you can do it, Aaron. You've got this. There you go. There you go. First one glued. So how did I get this idea? Well, it wasn't my idea. I used to work in a Japanese high school, and one of the teachers that I worked with asked me if I needed any help souvenir shopping for when I went back to the States. And I said, sure, yeah. And she took me shopping. And I bought some chopsticks and some fans and like regular souvenir stuff like that. By the way, here's how I glue it. I take this thing and I just put one big strip in the middle. I found that that was the best. It kept it secured pretty well, and because it was only glued in the middle, I could still tuck and go as I pleased between all the different postcards. Anyways, so she took me shopping. I bought those things, and then I was like, but I want something maybe like a wall decoration or something. So she called her mom, and her mom, out of nowhere, was like, hey, how about he buys a bunch of postcards and makes a collage out of them? And I was like, okay, I'm not artistic at all, but I can try that. There's the border again just to see how it's looking. It's looking good. And so, yeah, I bought the postcards, so the set of them, the Ukiyo-e. And then I was like, well, maybe I want something from Kumamoto, and that's why I bought the castle one. Here I am. I'm finishing up. I still got the guy's ugly mug in the middle there because I can cover him up. It looks mostly the same, but it's slightly different. And you can maybe see if you go back in the video and check like before and after gluing, you can see that some things are slightly different, but it's more or less the same. And now we got the Kumamoto one. I'm going to put it in the middle, and I really want to be careful this time because it's the last piece and it's actually glued only on other postcards, unlike all the others, which were mostly glued on the poster board. And here we go. Boom. Hello, this is next day Aaron taking a second cut because his microphone messed up. Anyways, I am going to pound these into place, make sure they're all secured. There we go. Everything's tight. Everything's not going to move. There's the frame again. I want to make sure it still looks like I want it to. It does. So we can move on to cutting it out. Now I'm going to try the box cutter first. And unfortunately, I did try the box cutter off camera. Sorry about that. But it felt like it required too much pressure, too much force. So I switched to scissors because I thought that might be easier. And when I start the scissors is also when I start regretting the thickness of the board I bought because it takes a lot of pressure and it's murdering my fingers. But I'm going to get through this first edge here. You can see me go. I'm going to do a 1-2 approach. So I'm going to do like a big cut on the outside and then I'll do more of like a thin cut to line it up with that edge. It is around this point my knees and hips really start to hurt and I realize, yep, 1 second. I'm going to take it off and come back. I'm going to try the box cutter again to even out the edges. And that's when I realized that it's so much better that if I just powered through and pushed it more, you get a nice, straight, even cut through. So for next time, box cutter, really, really good. And now I'm just playing with the frame, seeing how it'll fit in there, looking at it. But then I realize I've smudged up this frame a bit because I've been handling it, so I'm just going to wipe it down with some alcohol really fast. It's kind of just boring. If you've ever cleaned a window, you've seen what I've done here. Now I really want to line up the border. So I'm going to use some masking tape and I'm going to tape it in a couple of spots. There's a little border on the inside of that black frame. And so I can leave just a little bit of yellow on the outside, the presenting face of the artwork because it'll be covered up by the frame. So I'm just going to put yellow tape on each of the sides. And then press it into the frame here. If you're wondering where the back of that frame is, I forgot it. It's laying over to my left. Really at this point, my legs were hurting, and so I really wanted to just finish up. So I was going to press those little tabs to keep it in place, and I just wanted to see how it looked. And there it is. It's upside down again. There you go. There you go, smart guy. So that's how it looks. I really like the way it turned out. There's an awful glare from one of my lamps there, so I shut that off just to see if it looks a little better. There's me and my camera. So it was really easy. It took me about an hour in total, and yeah, I like it a lot. There's me dancing in my pajamas. Like, share, subscribe if you want. Thanks for watching.